Hey guys, we are about to dive into some seriously juicy stuff about Sydney, Australia. You know I love a good mystery, and let me tell you, researching for this video had me shook. We're talking about secret underground tunnels, ghost stories that'll give you chills, and historical events that sound like they're straight out of a movie. Get ready to have your minds blown, because some of these facts are so wild, you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about Sydney. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and lesser-known history of Sydney, Australia. Get ready to be amazed by these crazy facts. Okay, you guys, buckle up because this first one is wild. Picture this, 1932 Australia. The Great Depression is hitting everyone hard, and farmers are struggling. But it's not just the economy they're battling, it's also emus. Yeah, you heard that right. Thousands of emus, these giant flightless birds, decided to invade farmlands, eating crops and wreaking havoc. The farmers at their wits' end actually appealed to the government for help. And get this, the government actually sent in the army. They literally went to war with the emus armed with machine guns. Can you imagine? Soldiers versus birds. Spoiler alert, the emus won. Like, seriously, the birds outsmarted and outmaneuvered the army. It's hilarious and kind of sad at the same time. The Great Emu War is a thing that actually happened. And it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to crazy Sydney facts. Alright, let's talk about the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You know, that iconic bridge that everyone pictures when they think of Australia. It's beautiful, it's impressive, and IT has a secret. Deep inside one of the bridge's pylons, there's a mysterious locked vault. It was built back in the 1930s, and for decades nobody knew what was inside. It was like something straight out of a Scooby-Doo episode. Some people said it was full of gold, others whispered about secret government files. Finally, in 2000, after 70 years of mystery, the vault was opened. And you want to know what they found? Dust. Like literally just dust and a bunch of old documents about the bridge's construction. I know, kind of a letdown, right? But still, the fact that this secret vault existed for so long is pretty freaking cool. Okay, this next one is a serious history lesson, but don't worry, it's also super juicy. Let's rewind back to the early 1800s when Sydney was basically a penal colony. Life was tough, especially for the convicts who were basically ruled by the military. Now, rum was like the currency back then. Everyone used it for trading and stuff. But the governor at the time, this dude named William Bligh, yeah, like the guy from Mutiny on the Bounty, he decided to ban rum. Big mistake, dude. The colonists were not having it. They were like, you can't take away our rum. And that's how the Rum Rebellion began. A bunch of wealthy landowners, with the help of the New South Wales Corps, basically the OG Australian Army, they overthrew Governor Bligh and took control of the colony. It was the only successful armed takeover of government in Australian history, and it all started because of rum. Talk about a wild party. Chapter 4, the SS Waratah vanishes, lost at sea. Get ready for some chills, guys, because this next story is straight up creepy. In 1909, a luxury liner called the SS Waratah set sail from London to Sydney. It was a big deal, carrying over 200 passengers and crew. But then, something terrifying happened. The ship vanished without a trace. Like, poof, gone. No distress calls, no wreckage, nothing. There were rumors of a rogue wave, a sudden storm, even whispers of sabotage. Some people claimed the Waratah was cursed because it was built using the salvaged metal from a ship that had sunk. To this day, no one knows for sure what happened to the SS Waratah. It's one of Australia's greatest maritime mysteries, and it still sends shivers down my spine. Chapter 5, Quarantine Station Haunted Hospital. Horror. Okay, this one is not for the faint of heart. Just outside of Sydney, there's this place called the Quarantine Station. It's this creepy old hospital complex that was used to isolate people with contagious diseases back in the day. We're talking smallpox, Spanish flu, the bubonic plague, all kinds of terrifying stuff. Over 500 people died at the quarantine station, and their souls are said to still linger there. People have reported seeing shadowy figures, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling cold spots. There's even a story about a ghost nurse who roams the halls checking on her invisible patients. The quarantine station is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but it's also considered one of the most haunted places in Australia. Would you be brave enough to spend the night there? Chapter 6. St. James Station's Hidden Tunnels. Underground Sydney. Deep beneath the bustling streets of Sydney lies a secret network of tunnels. We're talking about the abandoned platforms and tunnels under St. James Station. These tunnels were built way back in the early 1900s as part of a grand plan for an underground railway system that never quite happened. They're like a time capsule, frozen in time. You can still see the old platforms, the signage, even the tracks. It's like stepping back in history. There are rumors that the tunnels are haunted, which wouldn't surprise me one bit. Can you imagine the stories those walls could tell? Chapter 7. The Forgotten Plague, Sydney's Silent Killer. This next fact is a little disturbing, not because it's supernatural or anything, but because it's a part of history that's often overlooked. In 1900, Sydney was hit with the bubonic plague. Yeah, the plague, the Black Death, the disease that wiped out millions of people in the Middle Ages. It arrived in Sydney on a ship from Asia, and it spread quickly through the city's slums. Over 100 people died from the plague, and thousands more were quarantined. The government, trying to avoid panic, downplayed the severity of the outbreak. They even destroyed records and tried to erase the event from public memory. It's a dark chapter in Sydney's history, but it's important to remember these events so we can learn from them. Chapter 8. Middlehead's Military Base, Sydney's secret weapon. Hidden away on the shores of Sydney Harbour is a place shrouded in secrecy, Middlehead. During World War II, this picturesque peninsula was transformed into a top-secret military base. They built gun emplacements, tunnels, and bunkers, all designed to protect Sydney from enemy attack. It was like something out of a spy movie. Thousands of soldiers were stationed at Middlehead, but their mission was kept top secret. Even today, parts of Middlehead are still off-limits to the public. It's a reminder that even in the most beautiful places, history has a way of hiding in plain sight. Chapter 9. Opera House Secrets, Messages in the Tiles. The Sydney Opera House is an architectural masterpiece, right? Those iconic sails, the stunning location, it's breathtaking. But did you know that there might be hidden messages embedded in its design? Some people believe that the architect, Jorn Utzon, incorporated secret codes and symbols into the building's tiles. They say that if you know how to read them, these messages reveal hidden truths about the universe. Now, I don't know about all that, but it's fun to think about, right? The Opera House is already a work of art, but the idea that it might also hold secret messages just adds to its mystique. Chapter 10. The Shark Arm Case, Sydney's craziest mystery. Okay guys, I've saved the best for last. This final Sydney fact is so bizarre, so twisted, it's like something out of a horror movie. It's called the Shark Arm Case, and it's one of Australia's most enduring mysteries. In 1935, a tiger shark was caught off the coast of Sydney. Inside its stomach, they found a human arm. But here's where it gets crazy. The arm wasn't bitten off, it had been cleanly severed. The police traced the arm back to a small-time criminal named James Smith. But Smith had disappeared, and the case went cold. Weeks later, Smith's associate, a guy named Patrick Brady, confessed to murdering Smith and dumping his body in the ocean. But Brady claimed that Smith had been killed by a shark attack, and he'd just cut off the arm to dispose of the body. The police didn't buy it, but without a body, they couldn't prove Brady was lying. The shark arm case remains unsolved to this day. Did a shark really kill James Smith, or was it a cold-blooded murder? Sydney Secrets Revealed. Wow guys, that was a wild ride through some of Sydney's craziest facts. From emu wars to secret vaults, haunted hospitals to unsolved murders, Sydney has it all. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to book a flight and explore these mysteries for myself. But before you go, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more mind-blowing content. And be sure to let me know in the comments which fact you found the most shocking. Until next time, stay curious. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these crazy facts about Sydney's history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time.